You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together, we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Oh, hi there. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Hey, guys, how are you?
I'm doing good. And Cal, the coach,
Good.
Duggan.
What's up, guys?
Hey, all right, folks. Well, it's Friday, and there is a lot. I'm scrolling through the script right now that Kevin has prepared for us, and
Still a lot
my
to talk about.
goodness,
There's a lot.
there's a lot of hot topics to talk about. This is not a down week between episodes.
Hot
Hot potato. All right, folks. First and foremost,
Congratulations, guys. We're proud of you. We
on,
really are.
Hang on.
You've done work.
Let me build this up. Let me build this up because it struck me as I was looking at all the tweets about our most recent Pepsi Rookie of the Week, Asante Samuel Jr., two-time winner in 2021. And it crossed my mind because we've talked about it plenty of times in the past where it's like, hey, man, we just go to the game. We support the players, but we don't do anything. We don't have any effect. What could we do to affect this game? And doing things like this, this is the biggest thing that we could probably do for these players to show how much we love and support them.
Yeah, they know we're here. They know we're out. We're like making an effort to get them recognized.
Yeah. I mean, what a sweet gesture for us to do, because when it came out for maybe the first day, Jamar Chase had the lead.
Man, how much do Bengals fans hate us? Like
so
fan base
bad.
to fan base,
So
they
much.
have to hate us, dude. They thought they were shooing for Joe Burrow, Rookie of the Year. We got the stud, first overall pick.
Right.
Justin Herbert's 20 times better.
I find it fascinating that everyone gives a shit that we don't have a fan base. But guess what? We have the best fans. We have the most loyal fans.
They just don't live in LA.
We got fans around the world.
Their day.
Yeah.
They're willing to take an hour out of their day to hit vote and refresh.
Yeah.
You're not getting none of these other teams. Jalen Waddle from Miami, 0%. Jamar Chase from Cincinnati got 42.
Yeah.
He's the closest.
Najee Harris, 0%.
Aziz Ojulari, 1%. So, and guess who won? 55%. Asante Samuel Jr. So,
yes,
we've talked about, and I've tweeted this before. It's like we can go to the games, we can yell for them, we can lose our voices for them, we can buy their jerseys to support them,
right?
But we're not really actively doing anything. We just got Asante Samuel Jr. a goddamn belt, and everyone should be proud of that for doing all that work.
Yep.
So, be proud of it. You guys earned it, and so did he, and we just helped him get that belt.
Right. We can all relish in that win. Yes, everybody. Good job. Good job.
We're proud of
By
it.
the end of the year, I'm anticipating Asante Samuel Jr. to just have a suit of Pepsi Rookie of the Week.
Maybe it's like
belts.
an Iron Man. You melt them all down and you give them like an Iron Man.
I also need some statistic on how many times Jin Mills votes. Like I need to know Karen and
I need somebody
Jen,
to hack.
I need to know how many times they vote, because it has to be astronomical.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it too.
Every time I go on to vote, I'm like,
see.
oh, I know Karen's on there voting. I got to vote like 12 more times.
It's almost guilty. Like, if I don't vote, what will happen?
No, it's like stepping it up. It's like those guys are doing extra reps in the weight room. We can do extra reps with our fingers on our phones.
Pretty simple.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. So congratulations, Asante Samuel Jr. Not once, but twice this week. Asante Samuel Jr. has won something. Yes, he thought it was just Pepsi Rookie of the Week, folks. Not so. We have expanded that time frame to a month. Asante Samuel Jr. voted Defensive Rookie of the Month.
So crazy.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. It's so cool to see. I mean, the guy's got 2 picks. Like, that's
Yeah.
Nobody expected that, and we've not seen that kind of performance, at least on our end.
Yeah, not only that, he has not allowed a touchdown. He has like the most defensive snaps without allowing a touchdown by any rookie in the NFL. He was a huge part of that turnover that ended up winning us the game against Washington. Right. Like he's been making huge plays, and he's not been exposed yet.
He's balling out.
And he was in the preseason. He was exposed a couple of times. There was some question marks like, oh man, I wonder how this is going to work. But he tightened everything up
when the lights are
season
on,
turned on. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the big one that's interesting is the 46 coverage snaps. He's been in coverage. One catch allowed, but that one catch was for -2 yards.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. Those are crazy numbers for a rookie cornerback, where they were picking on him most of those first 2 games.
What does coverage snap mean? I mean, not to assume
that means when he was
knows,
man on man, he was man on man coverage is what I took from that.
But teams throw the ball 30+ times a game. We've played 3 games.
That might be the times that the ball's getting thrown in his direction.
Maybe, I don't know. Either way, impressive stat.
It's incredibly impressive.
It is PFF.
I mean,
it's hard to decipher what they're saying.
Honestly, that's why I questioned the stat. Because I was like, it's Pro Football Focus. I don't even know what it is.
That's understandably
They
so.
make up their own definition sometimes. So,
but honestly, if you just took away the 46 coverage snaps and just see that he's played 3 games and only allowed 1 catch, which was for -2 yards, plenty impressive enough.
That's better than allowing in a catch. He -2 yards. Go ahead, catch them all you want.
Catch it all you want.
The guy caught it and he threw him 2 yards back. Like, who does that? And as a rookie, for Pete's sake, it's amazing.
Yeah, we're proud of him, man. That's so rad what he's done so far.
For our 2nd round pick too.
A 2nd round pick. This guy is blowing it up. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then looking at our own fan base, when it came to Pepsi Rookie of the Week, you would think that it would be a fun time had by all. We'd all just be voting and refreshing,
Vote for the guy you like. Yeah.
Yes, vote for the guy you like. You know,
and
do it your way.
And refresh.
Refresh. However, it was brought up to Karen, our very own Karen, that the subreddit for the Bengals, started to reach out for some help. Yeah, they were just
desperate.
like, our fingers hurt. I can't keep voting. Somebody help us, please. Oh my God.
We can't keep doing this, Daniel.
It's I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, for again, like we just said, like for the Chargers to be like the team with no fans, and you see the Bengals reaching out for more fans, like, hey, can somebody help us out from LSU?
One of them said, let's reach out to our trusted Bills friends. Maybe they can help. Like, these guys are desperate. Desperation.
Yeah. That's sad.
It just
really
shows,
sad.
But it just shows you how awesome what we're doing is,
and how pure our fan base is.
How pure it is.
100% pure Chargers fan base. You love to see it.
Small, maybe small in number, but very mighty. Those select few.
Yeah,
the few of the proud, the Charger fans again.
We come to the internet and we make our presence known.
Yes.
The few, the proud, the Charger fans.
The Charger fans. Yes. All right, folks. Well, if you thought Asante Samuel Jr. was the only one walking out with awards this week.
Didn't use a magic word.
Didn't use it. It was a little concerning because there were 2 places to vote. There was the main website for the Fedex Player of the Week. Air Player, I should say, Air Player of the Week. And then there was also Twitter, where you could also kind of tap on a button to vote. And it was in a one-time vote on Twitter. And for that Twitter post, I think it was Josh Allen that had the lead. And for a second, it was like, oh, crap. Come on.
Shit, what?
We got to... Everybody, follow me to the website.
Assemble.
So, blessedly, on the regular FedEx Air Player of the Week voting site, you could do just like we did with Pepsi Rookie of the Week. You could vote and refresh, and God help me, I did it. And I'm sure many of you other ones did, because our boy,
landslide,
our sweet boy, Justin Herbert, killed it for the FedEx Air Player of the Week by taking in 71% of the votes.
And what's crazy is the other guys had like as good as, if not better,
comparably
performances.
good games. Yeah.
You know, like I will say ours was against the Chiefs. It was
That's
a
the
divisional
thing.
opponent.
And it was the
Patrick
end of the game
Mahomes.
win the way he did
Yeah.
it. That's
Big
why.
W. Yeah. But Stafford threw for more yards, better percentage of completions, same amount of touchdowns, and in prime time against the Buccaneers. And our rival LA team and our fan base still showed up in more numbers to win,
What are the
win the
Rams
thing by huge. Matthew Stafford
What's the
got
percentage?
9% of the votes.
The Rams,
Mm.
9%.
The
9%.
Chargers came together and got this man 71% of the votes. That's insane.
Unbelievable. I mean, it almost feels like we voted out of fear. I swear, when I saw that Twitter, it was just like, shit, this can't happen. Not on my watch.
This is what we
Yeah, we
do.
fear voted.
Crab cakes and football. Pepsi Rookie of the Week and FedEx Air. This is what we do.
That's what we do here. That's what we as fans do for these players to show our appreciation. Again, worldwide fans, love all of y'all that are fans across the world and took the time to show your appreciation for both Justin Herbert and Asante Samuel Jr.
Yes.
Just
Let's
amazing.
keep it going.
Keep
Anytime
it
someone's
going.
rolling.
anytime we got to have 100% success rate of nominated to winning.
Mhm.
They just
And then
dubbed
next year, Asante Samuel Jr. can make his own commercial where he's wielding the belt.
all of
That's
his
how many.
belts.
That's how many he's gonna get. So let's
He's almost
go.
almost like the Bud Light Knight. You know how they had that Knight?
Yes,
He's
yes.
like the Pepsi Knight with all of his
I
That's
love
what I'm
it.
saying.
armor.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
When you're right, you're right, and you're right.
And you're right.
Right.
And then looking at other Twitter accounts across the Twitterverse, ESPN's Jeff Legwold came out with his list of the NFL rookie rankings. These are all the rookies that have played thus far, first 3 games. Where are they ranking across the NFL? Well, sitting at
Well, it
number
looks-
1
Yeah.
is I think the most underappreciated rookie in this draft class, Rashawn Slater.
Oh, dude.
Give
That's why
it up.
Herbert's able to do what he's doing right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for this list to have the number 1 rookie be an offensive tackle,
Right.
you got to know
gotta
they're
be
doing
standing
something
out.
right.
Yes.
Substantial.
Um,
I think we should come together. We should come together and make our own custom belt for Rashawn, and we
Right.
should send it to him.
really
That's
should.
how I feel.
What
That's
would
how
an
I feel
offensive
about this.
lineman's belt look like, though?
It'd be really big. Because
I
he's
feel
a
like
big
it
boy.
can't just be like a WWE belt. It has to be like, I don't know, like a hammer or like a blocking
Thor's
sled.
hammer?
Ooh, a Thor hammer would be pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Thor's
that would,
hammer.
That would be pretty
Rashawn's
awesome.
hammer.
Yes,
Yeah.
with a big charger bolt on it. Oh, shut your mouth.
Shut your
Let's-
mouth when you're talking to me like that.
Let's get something. We got to figure out a way to get something for Rashawn Slater. Show our appreciation for him. Because
Dude, the number
dude
one
doesn't get
ranked
enough.
player.
yeah,
And he wasn't even the number one
hasn't
drafted at
allowed
his position.
played all 3 games. Has not allowed a sack all
Yeah, nope.
season.
Like couple pressures.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. It's quite
So-
impressive.
It's substantial.
And he went against the number 2 guy on this list and very handily shut him down the whole game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was what was also impressive. But as we said, Rashawn Slater is not the only name on there. Yet again, we have to talk about Asante Samuel Jr. listed in this person's list as number 6 in the NFL rookie rankings.
Dude, there's a potential for back-to-back rookie of the. What if we went offensive and defensive rookie of the year in the same year?
Don't
That's
you
never-
get
that's
me
never
excited
happened.
like that.
I
No
mean,
way that's
don't-
ever happened.
I'd be curious.
Has an offensive lineman ever won offensive
That's what I was just going to
Rookie of the
say.
Year?
Have they ever? I mean,
It's
It's
they
hard
kind
to
of
do.
should. But honestly, looking at
It's
this
the hardest
draft class,
position outside of the quarterback. Everyone says that they're the second highest paid on every team.
right?
Why would they not?
it's a good question.
I mean, it is a
There's
good
always
question.
a first. There's always time to do the first of something. So this could be it.
This could be it. And I mean, honestly, looking at this list, where we would normally see a quarterback listed as one of these top rookies, the only one on there is one. There's
Yeah,
only
Mac
one
Jones at
quarterback,
10.
and it's Mac Jones.
and
of
he's
all
been very
people.
average.
Yeah. He's not blowing
Very
it up.
average.
This
No.
quarterback rookie class has not been very impressive.
No.
Well, it's so funny. I think last year everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we got to find our Justin Herbert. Like he'll just step in and be amazing.
Right.
Like, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the next Justin Herbert,
Right.
dude." I think everyone's coming to realize there are no just Justin Herberts. That just doesn't exist.
He's
that doesn't
generational talent
to step in and play the way he did. You don't get that. It takes them a while, as did most quarterbacks that preceded them. It takes a while to get used to the speed and the NFL. And, I think people are coming to realize that, damn, Justin Herbert's.
He's the real deal.
And the sophomore slump is fictitious.
It's
non-existent.
At least for him. At least for him.
FedEx Air Player of the Week for week 3.
In a sophomore season.
Yeah.
Love it.
Slump's non-existent. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. Not this
I know
year.
the whole AFC West was hoping for a sophomore slump.
They really were, clearly. Yeah. All right. Well, now let's look over at the Chargers and what's been going on behind the scenes. The week 4 injury report came out. And as of Thursday, everybody seems to have got at least a little bit of practice in.
No DNPs.
No DNPs.
This is very promising.
But there are some new names. This is the first time we've seen Keenan Allen on the list with listed ankle injury. So hopefully that's not a big deal. But good to see Joey Bosa getting a full practice in.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Especially a full practice, especially with everything that went down in the last game where he re-rolled his ankle. So
he hurt his ankle again.
Great.
Yeah, probably aggravated that injury.
Well, when you get the Monday night game, you get that extra day. So just get off your feet, rehab, take care of yourself. And we're seeing that in this injury report, what's happening.
Yes. Also, we didn't see this guy's name, Alohi Gilman, on any of the previous injury reports, but he's gotten in his limited practice. Hey, Chris Harris Jr. getting his limited practice in.
Welcome
That's promising.
back.
Love to have a full secondary, as well as Justin Jones getting his limited practice in. And Derwin James still got the toe listed as the injury, and obviously the dislocated shoulder that he just popped in mid-game is still listed on that injury report. But still, this guy is such a beast and has been rehabbing all off season. Was still able to get a limited practice in today. So you love to see it.
No DNPs, which is awesome.
That's all clearly
that's what we're looking for.
Clearly, that's what we want and need. Daniel Pomper tweeted out Justin Jones and Chris Harris both back at practice. We just mentioned that. And then he also mentioned Brian Bulaga had a procedure on his back, according to Brandon Staley. And Gilbert Manzano tweeted out that Brandon Staley said Brian Bulaga's procedure went well. Promising.
It's never good to have a procedure on your back. I can't imagine that was what they were expecting, or if that he's going to be back anytime soon. Like, that's concerning, to say the least.
They'll have a couple weeks.
Well, and I can't remember. Was he placed on IR?
Yeah. He was put on IR.
Okay.
So that gives you 3 weeks at least. And then once he practices, he has 21 days to be back or IR the rest of the year. So we have a couple of weeks here to see. Hopefully he heals up, and if it was something big, I feel like we would have heard about it, right? Like,
I know, right?
It would have been like season over
injury that he underwent, or the exact procedure that he underwent.
Maybe the procedure was like acupuncture, or he did those those cups, those hot
cupping,
stones, gems.
I'm trying to be positive on it. Maybe whatever it was,
we live for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they don't give us the exact procedure, we might as well make up our own, right?
Teach his own.
Yeah,
and with the Raiders, there was their injury report. There was no did not participates either. Josh Jacobs is still on there, which is a big storyline going into our game on Sunday.
Oh, really?
With the way that our defense operates, allowing some of the running game. If he's not able to participate, he didn't play last week. He is limited with an ankle injury. So even if he plays, he's banged up a little bit. They have Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber behind him. So that would be that's a big storyline if he is able to go, or if he practices and something flares back up and he's not able to go. Another guy that's on there, Denzel Perriman. Sweet Perriman. He was a full participant, but he's dinged up. You guys know that Denzel is the leading tackler for the Raiders right now.
I heard that.
I believe it. I believe it.
He is the leading tackler.
I'll see it when I believe it. See it.
I guess I see it.
I guess I see it. I see the numbers. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, if they come in, fully healthy, it's fine by me. It's just going to make the victory that much sweeter. Am I right?
Yeah. No excuses.
Yeah. No excuses. Yeah. All right. Well, taking a look at some of the stats of our opponent, the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's see. That was the first game they played against the Baltimore Ravens, and shockingly won.
Overtime game.
victory. Yep.
Yeah.
I think what you're going to find these first 3 games, 2 out of the 3 went into overtime.
Mhm.
So they're not exactly getting it done in regulation. We'll just say
They're close
that
games. They're hanging around and putting themselves in position, and they're winning.
Right. Yep. Against the Steelers, they won 26-17. And most recently against the Dolphins, that did go into overtime as well. And that was a messy game.
Yeah.
Entirely. So
Carr had a pick 6. But
you're right.
The stat to look at with these guys, especially in anticipation for the game, against the Ravens, generally a very good defense.
Mhm.
They had almost 500 total yards, the Raiders did, throwing for 409 and rushing for 82. Against the Steelers, another generally good. Now, the Steelers are down this year, but generally a good defense. They threw for 373 yards, ran for 52. And last week against the Dolphins, now the stats are skewed a little bit because they got to play basically a whole extra quarter. But again, almost 500 yards of offense with 357 passing and 140 rushing yards.
Right.
That's actually a good point. There's so many lists where they have Carr, like the man with the plan, and he's got all these yards. Yeah, but he played 2 overtimes. So calm down, Raider fans.
He has, but it's still he is putting up numbers. And here's my theory. I haven't got to watch. I didn't watch every single game. I watched mostly the Dolphins game that they most recently played. But teams are taking away the run against the Raiders. That's what they've been the last few years, right? Ever since they drafted Josh Jacobs 3 years ago, they're going to run the ball down your throat until you stop them, and then they're going to throw the ball. So teams have come out and put an emphasis on still stopping the run. And Carr's proven that he can throw the ball through the air and win football games.
Yeah,
clearly. It appears they have a similar kind of thing to what we have going on. Those first 2 games, like first game, 82 yards rushing, second game, 52 yards rushing. And then the anomaly of the Miami game, they had, what did they have? They had 140.
Yeah.
So, I'd be curious to see what Staley decides to do. I think from looking at these first 3 games, they're clearly airing it out. I think you got to watch out for Darren Waller. You got to look out for some of these guys who've had big games.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's one of those things where it's like we haven't had enough time with Staley to really have an idea of how he's going to deal with the Raiders, because this is going to be his first time. So I loved how he dealt with the Chiefs his first time.
Right.
Let's see what he does to these Raiders with his first go.
Right.
Yeah. The receiving game it's very balanced as far as their leading receivers. Henry Ruggs has 237, Darren Waller 224, and Bryan Edwards 210. So they're very balanced in their attack. It's not like, hey, I have one guy and that's all I go to. They're throwing the ball a lot and they're spreading the ball out. So it's not the old Raiders that we've been used to. So I anticipate us trying to stop that passing game and force them to beat us with the run, because that's what we've done the last 3 weeks against teams that all have good running games. The first 2 weeks they were like, hey, prove it. You're not going to beat us through the air. We trust that if we get Justin the ball enough, we're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't anticipate a gigantic shift. I think based on personnel returning, and I'll talk about this later on in Coach's Classroom, but I think based on the shift in personnel with getting Chris Harris back, I think that adds a little bit more versatility to what Derwin's going to be able to do against a running game.
Yeah, getting Chris Harris back, getting Justin Jones back to help on that line as well.
Jones. Yeah,
and now we've seen what Tavon Campbell's been able to do. Like having these pieces, I think we could start to get a little bit more creative.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game. I mean, Monday night prime time.
Yeah,
can't get here soon enough. All right, folks. Well, hey, don't forget to go on over to chargerchat.com and check out some of the sweet merch that we've got going on over there. We've also got a members section on our page. A lot of you have already joined, and the group chats have already started. Please feel free to head over there and sign up. Also, don't forget, winter is coming. So we just added some new sweatshirts to our store. Look pretty damn sweet. I haven't gotten one yet, but looking pretty damn sweet. So if you want to stay warm and in style with the Charger Chat, go to chargerchat.com. And also just a reminder, as we mentioned, that our next game is going to be a Monday night game. Normally we get these episodes out to you on Tuesday because we record Monday night. But since the game is on Monday night, we will have our Tuesday episode come out just one day later. We'll get it out to you ASAP. Any squad,
Look at these split.
any place.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, if you show up on Tuesday and you go, "Where's Charger Chat?" Calm down. First of all, let's put the gun
Wednesday.
down. First of all, and just be prepared.
Wednesday's the time.
Wednesday will be the day. Absolutely.
But then we'll go back to normal the following week, and
everything goes
Till
back
our
to normal.
Thursday night game, and then it'll be all messed up.
Yeah, Thursday. That's so late in the season. Who gives a shit?
Okay. You're right.
we'll deal with it when we get there.
Me, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Shut up, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, shut up, Kyle.
All right, folks. Well, now it's time to go on to our next segment, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's Bolt Insight. Let's see who we got.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super pumped to have Daniel from Locked On Chargers. What is going on, Daniel?
What's up? I'm happy to finally be here. I've been wanting to come on forever now. It's about time.
I'm pumped, dude. You're like the last piece of the puzzle, and we got it all together now. I got all the pods. This is awesome.
Yeah, man, for sure. I know it's been such a collaborative thing. It's always cool, doing all the crossover stuff we have going on. So definitely happy to talk to, the guys who follow you, and hopefully we can help each other out that way, because I know that every show is very different, in its own way. Love what you guys do, though. I mean, mostly you're not afraid to be yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you're not unapologetically yourselves. And I love that about your guys' show. So keep it up, man, for sure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, well, that's awesome, dude. Like, we have so many Charger podcasts. It's like the 31 flavors. We can get whatever we want. Go get whatever you want. So, let's the guys that listen to us. Let's find out more about you. How did you become a Charger fan?
And my dad, for sure. I mean, I grew up in San Diego. I'm still in San Diego. I've always lived in San Diego. So I definitely grew up a big Charger fan. And I think it was just because, like, I wanted to do the stuff my dad liked to do, right? Like, you want to like the same teams as your dad and stuff like that. And then, I mean, once you go to the first game and you have that experience, you're kind of sealed for life, for better or for worse, right? I mean,
sure.
For as many times, as I can think back on times with my dad where, like, going to games, just watching the game at his house. Like, I was up at his house as an adult for, like, the Ray Rice, diddle Ray Rice up the middle game, 4th and 29 game. So it's like, you have those moments too, but at least you have, like, a shared compassion, somebody to vent to when the games don't go the right way. So, like, as many times I've loved watching the Chargers with my dad, like, there's been so many times, like, what did you do to me? You know what I mean?
What have you done?
Like, I was way too young to even know what I was signing up for. Like, when you made me a Chargers fan, like, and this is, like, what I get. And he's like, yeah, get used to it. Like, it's been that way a while. So that's kind of how I got into it, for sure. And I mean, I think a lot of people, you want to do what your parents do and like what your parents like. And that's definitely, for me, what got me into it.
That's awesome. Yeah, same thing for us. Like, my dad, he calls me before every game, after every game. And I'm like, Dad, like, you have no idea how much money I've spent on this team because you just took me to my first game. Like, it's so funny that kind of aspect of it. And I just took my son to his first game.
That's awesome.
KC game was his first game. And he's like, Dad, I like this. I'm like, yeah, this is rare. This is fun to get a win and see all these sad Chiefs fans walking out of their stadium.
Yeah, as long as he knows what's on the other side of it, too. I mean, he got to go to a really good first game. I mean, I feel bad for your son the next time, if it's not so good, because we know him. And of course, hey, this is the new Chargers, right?
That's what I mean. This might be a new era. He might never feel what I felt.
Getting in on the ground floor. Yeah, we can only hope that he never has to go through the trials and tribulations that you had to do, to make yourself a Charger fan and to stick with it, because it's tough at times.
We want better for our children, that's for sure. So let's talk. Like, I'm fascinated with Locked On, because you guys do a podcast like every day. So, like, talk a little bit about, like, with the new team, because it felt like when we were trying to talk about the last team with Lynn, it's like we were really trudging up stuff and trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about. Now we have Herbert, we have Staley, we have all these amazing storylines. We're hearing so much from Brandon Staley in his press conferences, all that stuff. What is it like producing your show now that we have this new team?
I mean, this year was the best offseason of our show, for sure. And it stemmed in a lot of those things. I mean, the biggest show we ever had, at that time last season was Herbert's first start, right? Like, the next day, biggest show we'd ever had. And, like, I think that just shows you the kind of excitement that surrounds a new young quarterback, especially when he goes out and, does what he did. And I think you're hearing a lot of talk today, like, damn, Herbert was pretty good last year, huh? With all what these other rookies have been looking like so far this season, but it just felt so different this year. And like, I mean, we were talking about yesterday, like we felt crazy at times, like trying to tell people, hey, it feels a lot different. Like this could be very different than what we've seen, even from just, the first press conference, the first 3 press conferences, just how much more transparent it was. Just like you felt like he was teaching you stuff, right? You're like, hey, I know how to go do that now just because of like how good of a teacher Brandon Staley is, through my laptop screen. Like, so, I mean, it just always felt different, but having the excitement around the team this offseason, it wasn't the same last year. I mean, at this point last year, a couple weeks before, you didn't even have any idea what Herbert was. All you had seen is a little bit on Hard Knocks of him hitting some stationary posts, right?
Yeah.
Not really seeing anything real. And knowing that Anthony Lynn preferred to start Tyrod Taylor over him. So, like, there was not this kind of excitement. Yeah, it was more like, oh, damn, like, there's no Phillip Rivers here now. Like, what is going on with that, right? Like, that was such a weird kind of transition phase. And then it was just like, we have no idea what Herbert is. I mean, if you listen to all the pundits, you're not feeling great about the 6th overall pick last year before you get to see him. So this year has just been so much different. And to hear everything, we got to hear out of training camp, and there was some great beat reporting done there of people going to every practice and making you feel really involved in it from a content standpoint, just things to talk about. But I mean, night and day difference this year with Brandon Staley. Of course, the new carries some of that, just having a new anything, trying something different, because there was a time during the Anthony Lynn era, you're like, I don't even know if I need better. I just need different. Like, give me something different at this point, because like it doesn't seem like he's lost the locker room and it's still kind of not working. So this has been the best offseason by far. And I mean, Brandon Staley has proven that he was kind of worth the hype so far,
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Also, like the fan energy feels different. Like, you interact with the fans, we interact with the fans. Everyone has just such this new, like, optimism and excitement, and there's a lot of new fans, and the older fans are coming together with the new fans, and it's got this cool like symbiosis kind of vibe. So what are you seeing with the kind of interaction with your show and the kind of the fan base, like kind of where we're going?
Well, I mean, we can't, but you have to put it into context, right? Because the Chargers themselves were in transition, right? Like even my dad, like the fact that he's texting me after kind of disowning the Chargers when they left for LA, right? I mean, shows you something, shows you that some people are starting to come back to it a little bit. And like, I was doing a Chargers podcast when the Chargers left, and I told everyone who listened to me, I get it. If you never want to listen to the show, I get it. But I started doing Locked On. I had that going on, and it's great to have a place to vent about all this stuff, right? I mean, being a Chargers fan, sometimes it feels like you can yell about stuff and nobody's listening, especially when you're yelling at your TV. But this year just feels like there are some people coming back a little bit. They have the pieces that are there to be excited about, right? You have the Derwin Jameses. You have Justin Herbert, first and foremost. I mean, if you have a good, exciting quarterback that's fun to watch, that's going to be a draw. That's going to get people excited. And it just seems like it's going in a different direction. And I think you've seen with Justin Herbert, Pepsi Rookie of the Year award, Asante Samuel Jr. already winning one of those awards this year. I mean, the fans are out there, but it does seem like it is more of a communal thing. It did seem like it was kind of spread apart, and Chargers fans are that way. I mean, they're Chargers fans everywhere, and I'm sure you guys get messages all the time from countries you wouldn't even have thought are listening to you guys, because they really are all over the place. But this year, it seems like they found the right guy, not just to lead the team, but maybe even to lead this fan base, right? Because I think as a whole, this fan base, even after week 2, there's a little bit, okay, well, maybe we, got ahead of ourselves a little bit. But just even after seeing that game and seeing them compete with one of the best teams in the league, like the fan base is bought into the coach. They were already pretty bought into the Justin Herbert thing, but even that had, some sophomore slump talk going on around it. Right now, it feels like the things are all coming together. I was surprised with what SoFi looked like week 1. I thought it was a good thing. I mean, there was a ton of Cowboys fans there,
But they travel everywhere.
They traveled everywhere. But there was that video that came out from the Chargers, right? I think it was Nazir Adderley. It was like, hey, like, there's a lot of Cowboys fans here, but we're rolling deep. Like, there's people, like a ton of people came out here to support us today.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. We were fortunate to go to the tailgate, and like I've been to the Thunder Alley before. This was a different vibe, man. There was so many people. The energy was so high. So it's just kind of a fun time. And like talking on some of the, there's so many European fans. We just spoke with, we just interviewed a guy from Israel. He's like one of the few fans from Israel. So it's just kind of cool to see everyone coming together. And it's kind of like when we talk to people, it's like the excitement a lot of people came into the team with. That's why I would like to ask everyone, how did you become a Charger fan? 90% of the time, it was LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
That's what they say. We're going to have this new breed, this new fan base that's coming on because of Justin Herbert. So it feels like a nice like reset button to a certain degree.
And the LT stuff, I mean, that's the time I got in, you know what I mean? Like that definitely was something. And that's, you know, right when the Chargers kind of went on that like 8 straight AFC West division title run right then. And it was more about LT. And I think that's kind of showing you how the times have changed too, because like Drew Brees is pretty freaking good too. You know what I mean? But like that wasn't the talk back then. Like the talk was LT. It was, you know, Phillip Rivers getting 8 pass attempts in his first ever game. Like it was just a different time. But yeah, I definitely think that you have something like a Justin Herbert and you're like, oh, this isn't going to like make the Chargers competitive this year. Like this could make them relevant for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like when you have something like that, it's like, yeah, you're getting that buy-in and it's putting an onus on the organization and Tom Telesco and Brandon Staley to live up to it, right? Because just as easily as they're kind of gathering people in again, they're putting a high expectation on themselves, which you want, right? But you also need people to be held accountable too. So like they can't mess this up, right? Like they have to come through. They have to keep showing what they did on Sunday, that they are going to be contenders, that they are going to be players. I mean, going into this year, I felt like they were probably a year away. Like I think we're going to like what we see this year. I think next year they're going to be like legitimate top tier of the AFC kind of team if they play their cards right with how the rookies have been looking and stuff. But like, now you have the fans coming back in, keep giving them something to be excited about, because what did we get under Mike McCoy? Like a really borderline playoff season and then a couple of really bad seasons. And Anthony Lynn, you get 0-4 to start. Then the next year they go 12-4. And then it's 2 bad seasons back to back again. Like they have to stay relevant. It's not, you know, just getting there, but yeah, keep the fans engaged. Keep, you know, because I mean, even last year, like how many fans checked out, you know, week 10, week 12, you know, by week 15, it's just a different feel to it. So you got to keep them here. You have them. People are starting to watch the Chargers. People are starting to talk about the Chargers. I don't remember the last time the Chargers got this much national media attention. Sure. I mean, I'm sure, you know, as growing up a Chargers fan, but like now you just got to keep it going. Consistency is the name of the game, because as we saw, when they're at their A game, they can play anybody in the league.
Let's talk about next week. We have Monday. We have the Raiders, and this is Raider week, and this is coming out on Friday, so we're getting people pumped up for this. So, like, thoughts on the Raider game? What do you see us needing to do to beat the highest scoring, highest percentage yardage, all that crap the Raiders' offense is right now?
I mean, it's going to be tough, but the Chargers have a couple of unique things going for them. I mean, most guys, you know, teams don't have somebody that can put on Darren Waller, right? I'm not saying Derwin James is going to take him out of the game point, but you feel like you can at least contain him, right? And that's just not a player most guys, not a chess piece most coaches can deploy out there. So that's nice from that standpoint. Listen, Derek Carr's been just flat out good. As much as it pains me to say that, Derek Carr is almost like the Kirk Cousins level of like, are you actually good? Or like, I really still don't know. And I see you, you know, twice a year in every other Raiders game I happen to catch on. But like, it's going to be a tough game. And I think that's what you've seen these first few weeks, right? Is like, there's no pushovers in this division. Like, I still think right now, I'll tell you, I think the Chargers have a better team. Like, I think the Chargers should absolutely go out and win on Monday Night Football. We just don't know if they have that consistency yet. But like you saw the recipe for success last week. I mean, obviously 4 turnovers is unsustainable. And I knew it in the game. Like I was like, the Chargers are going to have to figure something out offensively, because this whole, you know, we're just going to take it away, but not force any third downs thing probably isn't going to continue into the second half.
Yeah.
They will need, you know, turnovers would be great. They don't need necessarily 3 turnovers to win the game. Obviously, that would be nice. But the part that worries me is still the run defense a little bit, because what the Cowboys showed that they could do is just limit the amount of times Justin Herbert has the ball in his hands. The Chargers only had 7 offensive possessions. Josh Jacobs might not play in this game. Still a big offensive line. It's still an offense. I mean, if Kansas City's offensive line can push you around a little bit in the running game, which they did on Sunday, like the Raiders are going to be able to get what they want on the ground. Are you going to be able to keep the roof on the defense, right, and not give them that big play that's going to bust things open? Make Derek Carr go, you know, 15 plays down the field. But when you have those games and the games get shortened and there's way less drives than you would normally find, you have to score touchdowns, right? And that was the biggest part of the Chargers offense. I mean, I think they were like 5th in total yards going into the last game, but like 27th in points per game.
Exactly.
Like you have to finish in the red zone, especially when your opportunities are limited. And when you know you're going up against Justin Herbert, it's going to be the game plan 100% of the time. Whether you're disappointed enough to go through it and not get tempted by the deep shot that could turn into a turnover is another discussion.
Sure.
But you know they're going to be trying to keep the ball into Justin Herbert's hands. I mean, every team's going to do that from here on out. They know he's legit. Like, he's the number one dude to stop. If you can do what you did on Sunday and score 4 red zone touchdowns, you win the game. I mean, to me, it's that simple. Like, and they didn't leave it in the kicker's hands in this last game, and that's what won them the game, because like 2 of those turn into field goal attempts, you're done. Like, you have that one, like you missed out on one where you had to kick that field goal. You go 4 for 5. You can handle that. That's still a great success rate inside the red zone for sure. If 1 or 2 of those doesn't go that way, it's a totally different game on Sunday. So I think for the Chargers, like Derwin James said, like when they're getting stopped, they're stopping themselves. I don't think Gus Bradley's defense is going to stop the Chargers. I think this is easily the most complete team that the Raiders have faced so far. And I don't think it's a pushover game for the Chargers. They should absolutely win, but it's just going to be another point where, can you keep these things up? We saw you struggle with red zone success, and then you burst out of the box and you just had the best game you've had all season offensively. Can you keep that going against the Raiders, who I still think have a flawed defense, to say the least? I mean, the Chargers should have a great chance, and I think it's just another good test, because we all know divisional games don't come easily. So they're going to have to go out and earn it once again. It's probably going to come down to a couple of plays late in the game to see where the Chargers can continue being the new Chargers and not be the old Chargers.
Absolutely. And I'm super excited for what, that game's going to bring. There's a lot of storylines, a lot of excitement, man. So hopefully everyone listening to this and going to the game, enjoy it. It should be fun. And hey, Daniel, I really appreciate you, man, coming on. This was fantastic meeting you, talking like this. This has been rad. So thank you so much for coming on, man.
Hey, man, I enjoyed it. Just, 2 dudes talking football. I mean, it's not usually this free flowing. So we know each other's pain, right? So even though we've never met in person, like, we feel like we've known each other. And that's kind of the whole communal thing with the Chargers fan base, is like, we're all equally scorned by the Chargers, and we all get to reap the sweet benefits when you see stuff like what happened on Sunday. And it felt good, man. Enjoy it. That's my message to Charger fans. Hey, it's easy to get caught up. Are the Chargers, Super Bowl favorites now, all that? Like, there's so many things you can get wrapped up in, but like, enjoy it. That was a big time win that former regimes don't have that game and win that game. So enjoy it. And hey, keep it up, man. I love your guys' show. I think you guys are doing something different, than a lot of the other podcasts out there are doing. So keep it up, man. I enjoy it.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. And tell everyone where they can go find all your stuff, Locked On stuff.
Yeah. You can follow Locked On Chargers wherever you get your podcast from. I mean, it's on every platform for free. So you can follow us, subscribe to us wherever. And you can find me on Twitter at Dan Talk Sports. Not a ton of hot takes out there, you know what I mean? But I get mine in every once in a while. I make fun of, Dallas fans and, Chiefs fans and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys can find me on there. Hope you guys check out the show, but hey, it's a good show you're listening to right now. I can tell you that.
Well, we appreciate it, man. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Next time I'll get the time zones figured out too. All right.
Let's do it. It's my bad. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Well, gosh darn it, Daniel.
What a sweet guy.
Yeah, dude.
What a great conversationalist, man.
Dude, he knows his football, man. No
he
joke.
Was going, man.
No joke.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have to do a show every day of the week,
that's
pretty much
intense,
all
dude.
year. Like he must have an insane knowledge of this team to be
There's
able
no way
to
around
talk
it
for a week.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly awesome to have him on. And I just love hooking up with everybody. Everyone's so freaking cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that was the first time I really talked to him one-on-one, and it was amazing. So we really appreciate him coming on. And it was also cool to hear like how we became fans, Kyle. That's how he became a fan. His dad just sucked him into it. And that's just
I think if you talk to most San Diego Charger fans, that's the case. Like that's where it started. That's where generations were fans. San Diego Charger fans, that's kind of that's just how you became a fan. That's what your parents rooted for, because that's where you live.
Yeah. I mean, and I loved his point that like we're all equally scarred. It's not like, I can walk up to a Charger fan and go, see, take a look at this guard, man.
No
this
matter
was
how,
back.
It's like Jaws.
No matter how long you've been a fan, you have scars.
Right. It'd be like, this is our 4 and 12 year. And they'd be like, yeah, I've got that scar too. Jerk ass. Like we're all in the same, like we've all felt the same
jerk
pain.
ass. I got that one too.
Yeah. I've got all of them. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. And but Daniel, can't thank you enough for coming on, man. What a great conversation. And what a great piece for Bolt Insight. It's awesome. All right, everybody. Well, we want to update everyone who enjoys our show on YouTube. This is normally the time you get to head over to Coach's Classroom and learn a thing or two from our very own Coach Kyle. Unfortunately, due to YouTube copyright regulations, we will need to post Coach's Classroom and Coach's Corner as a separate video on our YouTube page. You'll still get all the awesome content that Coach brings every week. It'll just be posted immediately following its normal episode. Is just going to be a separate video. So we're really sorry for the inconvenience. Obviously, we say it, nobody puts Coach in the corner, but apparently YouTube does.
YouTube has put Coach in his GD corner.
You hate to see it, but it's still going to be there. We're still going to have it. It's just going to be its own beautiful, unique little snowflake just sitting down and to the left.
It's going to be
down
guys,
and to the left.
Please go watch it too.
And then Kyle gets like 0 views.
Oh God, that would be the worst.
I can't imagine.
Never let me hear the end of it.
I can't imagine.
God.
Find a way to like share.
What if it gets more?
The one off. Oh my God.
What if it gets
more than
views?
our regular episodes?
Yeah. What if it
I
does?
just want as much.
I'm not going to tag anything in that. People gonna have to look for it. Just kidding.
You love to see it. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode in the books. Going into our first primetime game of this season, Monday Night Football at SoFi Stadium.
Primetime, baby!
Primetime, baby!
Represent us, bro.
Don't forget to go watch Coach's Classroom, because if it gets like 2 views, Kevin's never going to let me hear the end of it. It's a separate episode. Don't be confused. It's just right on our page.
It's just
the next
different.
video.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll try to get them posted at the same time. And those of you that are going to the Raider game, look for my man, Kyle the Coach Duggan. He'll be there with his sonny boy and Papa Coach.
Yeah,
Coach
Paxton
Senior.
Ace and Papa Coach will be there. So come say hi.
Yeah, come say hi and
307.
Yes.
What's 3 plus 7?
It's 10. Justin Herbert's number.
That's why we picked that section. So
That's
go
right.
on over to 307.
Going over to 307, make a human shield around my man, Bolt Chat Coach and his family. Let's get a W this week, baby. This is a big game. Let's go. Coming up on Monday. Let's look forward to it. That will do it for us here at Charger Chat. Folks, don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. What do you do when you've got so many Rookie of the Week belts? You open up a store. That's right. Asante Samuel Jr.'s Belts is open for business. We've got one size belt. One size fits Asante. Deal with it. So come on down to Asante Samuel Jr.'s Belts, where you might not leave with a belt, but you'll leave with a smile. Brought to you by the fans.